Welcome back everyone to a brand new video. Hope you're doing well. Today I've seen something, alright? I saw something on Twitter once again, and I will be talking about it because I find it really funny. Now, apparently, if you have a romantic partner in the UK, you are not allowed to frick them anymore. I'm really hoping I got this wrong or something, but seeing all these headlines is probably the funniest thing I've seen all week. So apparently there's this new regulation to prevent spread of the virus that you can't visit your partner and sleep with them. You can still meet them outside and chill together, but you can't frick them. Now, obviously, there's a couple issues I see with this, and a lot of people see with this. Like, I don't really know the severity of the situation in, like, London or whatever, but if, like, the pubs are open and businesses are still operating relatively normally, obviously, I assume some places would have more restrictions, but if uni and school is open, how are you gonna ban fricking? Like, how do you even monitor that? This is so weird, dude. Like, what I'm seeing in these articles, right, is that everything is open and people just come and go everywhere, but fricking specifically is banned. Now, obviously, if it somehow results in an ultimate good, like it stops the spread of the virus exponentially somehow, sure, I mean, cool and all's well that ends well, but obviously, I just thought this sounds so ridiculous that I have to talk about it. So here we go. Fricking is banned indoors for tier 2 couples living apart. Number 10 confirms. Couples living apart in areas with tier 2 restrictions are not allowed to have sleepovers unless they are in a support bubble, Downing Street confirmed today. Now, obviously, before we get into anything, first we gotta understand what tier 2 lockdown restrictions are, because I don't know what they are. You probably don't know what they are unless you're from the UK. What are high-level tier 2 lockdown restrictions? This is for areas with a higher level of infections. This means the following measures are in place. All businesses and venues can continue to operate in a secure manner, other than those that remain closed in law, such as nightclubs and adult entertainment venues. Certain businesses selling food or drink on their premises are required to close between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Businesses and venues selling food for consumption off the premises can continue to do so after 10 p.m. as long as this is through delivery service, click and collect, or drive-through. Schools, universities, and places of worship shall remain open. Weddings and funerals can go ahead with restrictions on the number of attendees. Okay, so just from what I'm seeing here, right, it seems like everything is just kind of open, you know? It seems pretty close to normal, like schools, universities are all open. These are places where people gather a lot, you know? There's always a lot of closeness, a lot of people in one area. I mean, there's a couple of restrictions here and there, but I would think you would ban fricking after you close schools, university, travel, everything like that. But of course, I'm not claiming to be some sort of expert or something. Maybe there's something specific about getting the deed done that really spreads the virus or something. I don't know. Why would that be the case? There's only 2 people taking part in the act. I mean, it can only go from one person to the other or something, but I don't know, man. I guess I need to be educated because this was an informed decision taken by a large majority of people, maybe the governing body or whatever. I don't know. To a normal person like myself, living somewhere completely different, it just seems weird, okay? Weird looking in from the outside. I'm sure they thought this out. Maybe, but come on, dude. Exercise classes and organized sports can continue to take place outdoors. Are you kidding me? And you're gonna ban fricking? Like, what? This is tier 2 restrictions. This is the same restriction we're talking about. What? They will only be permitted indoors if it is possible for people to avoid mixing with people they do not live with or share a support bubble with, or for the youth or disability sport. The rule of 6 will continue to apply outdoors and in private gardens. Dude, now that I think about it, what if people just start fricking outside? I mean, I'm sure that's against the law, but like, I mean, you can't really control that, right? People have got their urges or whatever. I don't know, man. I feel like society is gonna go insane. I don't know. People must not meet with anybody outside their household or support bubble in any indoor setting, whether at home or in a public place. I swear, wait, but then schools, universities, I mean, I guess that's required to, keep furthering the education and the economy or whatever. I don't want to get into that. I mean, I know nothing about that, but I don't know, man. Pubs still open. There's doesn't make sense to me, alright? People should aim to reduce the number of journeys they make where possible. If they need to travel, they should walk or cycle where possible, or to plan ahead and avoid busy times and routes on public transport. Alright, so that's all the restrictions that are being enforced in Tier 2 high-level infection areas or whatever, and it doesn't seem that strict to me, to be honest. Everything just seems kind of open. Maybe it is strict. Again, I don't live there. I wouldn't know. I guess you wouldn't really know unless you're part of it. But yeah, I just find it really hard to believe fricking is your number one priority right now. Now, I wanted to see why exactly they kind of made this law or whatever, put in place this restriction, because it seems really weird. So, apparently they've commented on this article, so let's take a look. Boyfriends and girlfriends will be able to meet outdoors in Tier 2, but are expected to stick to social distancing rules such as hands, face, and space. So boyfriends and girlfriends can meet outdoors, provided they socially distance. Okay, so, you know, if the man has a large pee-pee, maybe he can still frick, even with social distancing, dude. I mean, I wouldn't underestimate a man with a very large pee-pee. I mean, when push comes to shove, right, and when the guy's on day 365 without fricking, I think he might break, dude. His pee-pee will be so pulsating and large, you would probably mistake it for a tree trunk. People out in the streets of London will be like, yo, why does this guy have a tree sticking out his pants? Well, I mean, the government didn't let him frick, bro. I don't know. Your fault. The Prime Minister's official spokesman told a briefing of Westminster journalists, the rules on household mixing in Tier 2 are set out that you should only mix with your own household unless you've formed a support bubble, and that obviously does apply to some couples. By the way, a support bubble is a network between a single-person home and one other household of any size, according to the government rules. When asked why there was no exception for people in established relationships in Tier 2, he replied, because the purpose of the measures that were put in place is to break the chain in transmission between households, and the scientific advice is that there is greater transmission of the virus indoors. Okay, so apparently there's greater transmission indoors, right? And they've decided to stop letting people frick. Now, I just got a couple of questions here. How do you enforce this? Is there gonna be like a police officer on duty, like specifically assigned to this task, monitoring every man and woman in a relationship in the entirety of like the UK or wherever this restriction is, like London? It just seems literally impossible. Like, and imagine getting caught doing this. Like, you would have to be a complete moron to get caught doing this. Like, first off, there's no cameras in people's rooms, unless there's a serious privacy problem by the government. But yeah, in usual homes, there's no cameras or whatever. How is the government gonna monitor if you frick someone? Like, suppose all the evidence adds up, right? Like, there's a police officer monitoring this, right? Hey, I know Ryan is in a relationship with this specific girl, right? I saw him go to her house. I saw him leave in precisely 32.5 minutes. I think they fricked. How would you, like, even prove that? Do you just wait outside the house? Do you barge inside the house when you suspect when you think that they're doing it in the middle of their fricking? You just barge inside the house? They won't even answer the door, dude. Do you wait for them to be done? Do you ask them after? And you gotta put this into perspective. I'm referring to monitoring one couple. Imagine monitoring 1 million couples. What, do you have the manpower for this, dude? Well, like, people won't even reveal if they are in relationships, or much less reveal if they fricked, because the second they do, they'd have to pay a fine. So, like, I don't understand. Are you gonna do medical tests? Like straight up test their pants, test their parts or whatever? Oh my god. Imagine you're a man in London right now and you just finished fricking your partner and the FBI shows up at your house to investigate your pants. I mean, it's not a UK thing, but you got the point, alright? The police show up, okay? When asked if couples in Tier 2 can meet outside, he said, yeah, as it was set out in the guidance that was published this week, the ban on household mixing is is in relation to indoors, and outdoors the rule of 6 applies. So some people on Twitter reply to this stuff as well, saying, okay, but serious question, if one half of the couple lives in tier 2, can the tier 1 person go pick them up and whisk them away to the safety of tier 1 for fricky times? Asking for a totally hypothetical person who definitely isn't me. Is outdoors okay? Could a tier 2 couple have frick in a tier 2 car park? Or go to a hotel in tier 1? Can they just have a bit of foreplay in a semi-outdoor space such as a gazebo? What if they opened the bedroom window and just their legs were outside? Goddamn. Okay, dude, I think we get the point. I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to talk about this whole thing. I found it hilarious. Smash like, subscribe, hit the bell if you see it. Last video, notice just did not go out, so that would kind of suck, but whatever. Check the channel anyways to stay up to date with videos. Thank you to my channel members for the support, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, stay fricky.